Yeah, so Gamescom, we reported on this. MK1 was gonna make its way there. Ed Boon had already tweeted about it. It was gonna be the next spot to show something, and show they did. We got a new trailer. It's not the only game, but we got a new trailer that dropped, and I think the consensus on it was like the trailer was pretty hype, right? I think that's how we all feeling right now.
Yeah, I mean, finally they showed more Raiden. Like, we saw Raiden before in like small clips and bits and pieces, but now we finally got an actual character trailer for him. But he's been revealed since the start. But we got my lady Sindel, my queen, and Shao in this game.
Yeah,
take Kahn.
No Kahn. Yeah, for those that might be a little confused, remember Kahn is a title. It's the title of the ruler of Outworld, I think specifically, at least in the old timeline. We don't even know if there's a Kahn. We don't know if this is Sindel Kahn. Liu Kang, I think in the trailer didn't address her as, but yeah, his name is just Shao. But yeah, so yeah, we finally, you were just, like you said, you were kind of not complaining, but you were kind of talking about it before, how you wanted to see more Raiden. You said that like last week or something like that. Like we do not have enough of Raiden. We don't know what Raiden is really gonna be about in this game right now. We know he's fighting, he's training, he's a Shaolin monk of some kind, but we just didn't know where he was sitting in all this. Well, we finally got a little bit more of it, where it showed that he is well, let me come back a little bit. The tournament has now kind of been verbally confirmed, right? I kind of thought about it when they said, like, we actually haven't heard about an actual tournament in this timeline, right? The entire point of Mortal Kombat is the tournament to save realms, to defend realms from invasion, and that slipped my mind until I think it was Sindel, where she talked about a tournament between Jared, which was her husband, her late husband. So Jared's still dead. Sorry, bro, you're like Uncle Ben. You're just never gonna get a break. Like you're always gonna just catch it. Between him and Liu Kang, where Outworld fights with Earthrealm, and they pick a champion. They like pick a specific champion to represent them. So it's not like a bunch of them. So far, it seems to be one. And Outworld is going to be Shao, and Liu Kang picks his, which is Raiden. So it's like, okay, cool. So Raiden is the chosen one here. And surprisingly, not Kung Lao. I thought we were going to go that path, even as far back as like MK11.
Well, yeah, MK11, it was Shao. It was Kung Lao. He was the first, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was the first one picked.
But then this could also be alluding back to MK9, where Raiden chose Kung Lao and he chose wrong, and it was supposed to be Liu Kang. I don't know if you remember when you started Time Over, and Kung Lao just died because he wasn't the chosen one. Yeah,
I do remember that. Maybe it could be a bit of an homage to that. But yeah, so we finally get to hear, or we get to see some more of the story. Everything's at peace, this, that, and the other. And we just get to hear, see, kind of the inklings, right? Shao is, I'm going to try really fucking hard not to say Shao Kahn this whole time. I'm going to let y'all know this. To see Shao actually even talking to Sindel, right? And going like, hey, he's already trying to plot things, and she seems to be against it. She's like, hey, know your place, general, because he is their general, which is fine because that's what he was even far back in the deep lore, right? He was general to Onaga, which was the Dragon King of the Outworld, the original ruler of Outworld. That's like the 3D era. So like, that's a little deep if you don't know that. But Shao was a general then. Well, he was Shao Kahn then. But yeah, so you're seeing some of the little story beats are starting to show up a little bit more, and they're scattered enough where I'm like, man, how is this all gonna fit together? I can't wait to play the story because I want to see how it's all connected.
I think they do a really good job with deterring us from the tournament itself and giving us like almost a movie vibe, right? Because like every movie we've watched, we never really talked about tournament until later, like halfway into it.
Yeah.
So this kind of feels like a movie where we're getting all these different outside experiences and watching everybody kind of grow. And then you're like, oh, I'm attached to these characters. And it's like, all right, let's murder these characters in a tournament, right? So we kind of got that movie vibe. And I love that it's Liu Kang kind of reverse roles with Raiden.
Yeah, it's so weird, man.
And that's the really cool part, because I was like, as soon as I was like, Oh, that's so dope. It's like taking it back to actual Mortal Kombat 1 where, he chose Liu Kang, right? And it was just like, oh, okay, I see like the head nod to it, but I do like that Shao. It feels like everybody's young, right?
Yeah.
Liu Kang's the old one, but everybody else is young.
I was gonna bring that up too. Like, even back at the end of MK11, right, when we saw Raiden as human, I was like, damn, he's older. You can see he's like kind of I'm like, I know he didn't reset the timeline then, but it's just, this is a younger Raiden, and or really everybody, right? It's kind of rejuvenated. Even Shao. I almost said Kahn again. Even Shao, like, it is so weird to see him without his mask on. Even though we have seen him, he was in MK11. You did see him and such, especially in the DLC post ass whooping. But to see this much of him, like, he already seems to have a lot more. They're not keeping him as just some guy that's just trying to rule. I mean, as at this moment. But I hope he's very cunning. I hope we get to see like what his strategic way of trying to get his way is going to be versus just brute force. He was a little, in some of the MKs, he was just a little like, just pretty one-dimensional character, right? Power, whatever. But it's like, he could still be about it here, but I want to see how he takes those steps. This is very Games of Thrones-y feeling is what I'm getting here when he's going to be plotting, because I would assume that's how it's going to go. I could be wrong. I'm still going off of nostalgia and how it's known to be. But God, visceral ass fatalities. The trailer was dope, and there were other pieces, right? The look keeps impressing me. I see how they they're kind of updating characters, right? I think we were kind of talking a little bit about it before the show, how like Sindel has gotten a facelift, not in a bad way, but it's like she's also looked different in this version of the game. She's younger. They've already been kind of moving like characteristics for certain characters like Katana and such, a bit more Eastern orientated, right? A little bit more on that spectrum. And now they did the same thing with Sindel, where it's like, oh yeah, I could see her. Not to say they couldn't be like, oh, mother and daughter before, but you kind of see it a little bit more, right? You see the resemblance a bit more, which I was like, that was like an unnecessary detail. They could have had anything and I would have believed it, but adding it, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Especially the vibe. You see her peer in my man's soul when he says some stuff like,
Oh, after this, what?
Ooh, hey, hi.
Fast forward
how's it going?
just a tiny bit here.
Mama? Huh? Sorry. What's up?
No, fast forward a tiny bit after he slashes these girls. Her look is like,
Let me see. Which one was her look? Oh,
yeah,
that fierceness. Yeah, she's like, don't you forget this, man. Don't you cross this line.
I can uppercut you with my hair.
Remember, split ends kill.
I do feel like you could see the kind of like the connection between the outer world and like it's almost like a bridge, right? Sindel seems like a bridge to the outer world and to the mortal world, right? Where she's like mortal realm. She's like kind of partially like looks human, but then you start seeing the hair. Like she has this like presence that's very human, like the way she carries herself. And then as you see it transferring to like I'm trying not to say his name too, Shao, you start seeing that more outer realm look. Like you're like, oh, it gets darker as you kind of dive deeper into it, right? So I really love that concept to what they're doing, where I feel like kind of connected to her, and then I'm like, Shao, I kind of feel really disconnected, but he has like that very normalized, like a little like off the normal path, but you can feel like you're like, oh, I kind of can relate to him, right? He just wants one thing, and it's power, right?
Yeah, but like
you feel like when he talks to people, it's not just that. Like before, like the past games, he's just like, you're puny humans, mortals.
Yeah, I like the direction. But let's talk gameplay though. Yo, gameplay. I think this is the coolest I've seen Shao Kahn ever play.
It looks like he's actually useful.
The way they're making him use his axe, which he's not using a hammer, he's using an axe in the game as his primary weapon, even though he's had spears and such. The axe, like some of the moveset, like to the stand grab back into the axe, into like putting your opponent's chest into it on the ground. Son, bro, that is dope.
There's a bit of layers there. Like it means you can do certain moves with and or without the axe.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming too. And they also have noticed somewhere in the trailer too, where you see him put it down, and I'm wondering like, oh, like how does he get it back? Do you have to go get it? When he gets hit, it just like comes back to him. So I was like, okay, cool. Like it kind of resets his state, so you're not at disadvantage for having your axe placed somewhere or something like that. So you don't get punished for it, because it'd be terrible if the character's own kit punishes their own gameplay if you use it or if you get opened up. That's
Reminds me of
it's kind of detrimental.
It's amazing where they're taking the assist throughout the game, because Motaro assist is literally his moveset, where he can teleport, he can shoot a fireball, he can put a barrier up.
Yeah, he did it all, bro. Yeah. He did it all. He did
double tail fireball.
He did the teleport. He did the fireball. He did the deflection, right? And his grab. Yeah. His grab is literally verbatim, like how he did it in the original game. Like,
grab.
Let me see. Did we get to see the? I think it was.
Remember, he didn't reflect in the old game. You just couldn't throw a fireball at him.
No, he could.
It either would go back to you, or he would just go through him. Would it go through him? I think it would all go through.
I'm pretty sure that was a reflect. Reflect.
It was a reflect, but I'm pretty sure
made.
Most of the moves were highs though, so you could just most of the fireballs, so you just crouch it. That's why
he was my favorite.
Wasn't
something
super
like
good?
that. Yeah, he's definitely up there in terms of some of the best mini boss. But yeah, the grab. Because I hated getting grabbed like that in the original game, because he would just grip you and he winds up, and then that classic MK3 hit that it just that was a hard ass hit. Yeah, I still feel it here. Yeah, 40%, whatever, 30%, 35%, whatever you got hit with, 2 of those, you was done.
It gives me hope that the cameos can be deep cut, even more deeper cut characters. Sure. I don't even know who the other guy is that's helping Raiden. Shinjuku, is it? It's in the tweet.
The actual person that was helping Raiden, that's Shang. Isn't that Shang Tsung? No, that's not Shang Tsung. That's not Shang Tsung. Demesia or something like that. Let me see.
I thought it was Shunjinko.
It's not Shujinko.
New cameos. There's a tweet. It says new fighters: Sindel, General Shao. New cameos: Motaro and Shujinko.
Oh, so it is Shujinko. Okay, so Shujinko was the main character in not Armageddon. I believe it was Deception, because he's the one that frees Onaga. He's like a character that you play in his entire quest in the conquest first person, the conquest single player mode, where he goes around and he travels and he ages and learns techniques. It's super deep cut. It's before the one with the 2 brothers from Armageddon. It was the initial conquest, but that's where Shujinko comes from. He was like the new chosen one, because at that point Liu Kang was dead, but it was a farce where he actually ended up unlocking or letting Onaga free, or bringing him back, and that's what caused a lot of issues. So he's got some lore. He was even in one of the MKX, I believe. MKX endings where Cassie Cage like whooped his ass. Yeah.
Which is weird, because I don't know how much you guys know about the lore. I'm kind of learning a little bit as I go, because I don't know about him, but I just learned that he was trained by Baraicho, who also trains obviously Liu Kang and Kung Lao. But they said his special ability is he was gifted a special ability to be able to copy. Any move. Wait, it gets better. Copy any move or any power that when he fights anyone, any super, and he can that he acknowledges. Yeah. So as long as he acknowledges it, he can do it. That's kind of insane.
The brother's Taskmaster. He's Taskmaster for Mortal Kombat. Is what he is.
Yeah, but he also seems like why am I forgetting? What's the main boss's name? Holy crap, I forgot his name.
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung. Yeah,
it seems like
it seems very similar, like the first iteration. It seems like almost, but it's not obviously. But it just seems like kind of that same style, which is like maybe hinting towards us getting closer to that.